throw a little hot rod bronze in there.
I just thought of a funny way to end this video. Brace yourself for that. Welcome back to the Hachette Partworks DALEK Collection build, and we are now moving on to issue 14. Last week, what did we do? Well, we built this little thing. I think that was it. Yeah, but you know, we've got quite a lot of the innards now. We've got the main computer chip, the ear bone's connected to the eye bone via the motherboard, as the scriptures say. But from last week's preview for this issue, it looks like we're getting quite a large piece. And I can't really think where it's going to go, but let's find out together, shall we? So without further ado, away, Binder! And you go over here, and let us all bear witness as we look upon issue 14, and what appears to be a vinyl record. Okay, I see what's going on here. The Dalek and issue 14. Let's put you aside for now. Let's have a look at issue 14, shall we? Ooh! Very nice. I thought it was covered in popcorn for a second. These gold flakes. I like it. I like it a lot. Let's have a closer neb, shall we? Look at that. Very cool design. Why is the eye not on? Dalek drivers. Here we go. Oh, this is so cool. It's just a little spread about all the people who have driven and operated the Daleks. Oh, that's cool. There's a little bit of information here about how they did that famous shot of the Dalek coming out of the water. Very cool. Remembrance of the Daleks, part 2. The Doctor discovers that there are 2 Dalek factions at war with each other. My God, it's Jeffrey from Fresh Prince. I need to watch this story. Well, and here we go. It's building time for this strange metal hoop. Ooh, hello. I'm assuming this is going to be something that the Dalek dome will get mounted to and be part of the movement mechanism. I don't really know. Oh, it's sharp. Information. Kill. Take the circular plate and identify the 4 screw holes. Identified! Take the motor and housing assembled in the previous issue, position the housing on the plate so that the screw sockets and the base of the part align with the screw holes in the plate. You'd like that, wouldn't you? Are they supposed to slot in? Or is it just... oh, I see. And then flippy woo. I've been de-blued again. The blue's back in fashion. So we've got these little screws. 4 CP screws. God, they're tiny. Oh, so I thought that motor was going to be about the eye stalk, but it looks like it's maybe a motor for actually turning the head. Oh God, I'm terrible at screwing. Screws. I'm terrible at screwing screws. There we go. That feels a bit better. Sorry, I'm skipping ahead, but I'm just seeing down at the completed work section that we're not attaching it to the dome, which is fine. I'm just impatient. I just want it all to be in one piece already. But, you know, I'd rather be done correctly. Okay. Well, there we go. That's all the completed work for this issue. So yeah, it looks like once the dome is on here, it's maybe gonna lock onto something. I assume this is gonna be what turns the head. I don't know, I'm just guessing, but yeah, it looks like that's gonna lock onto maybe another sort of cog thing, and that's gonna be what rotates the head, maybe. Very exciting. I can picture it now. Actually, yeah, we can have a look at what's coming next week, can't we? Add more detail to the bottom of your model with the arrival of the cog support plate with 4 bearing wheels and 4 axle pins. So is that gonna be what the head sits on, maybe? Or is that gonna be what that sits on? I don't know. I can't make heads nor tails of it. I guess we'll find out, and that's exactly why you should tune into the next issue of the Hachette Partworks Dalek build. Let us seal the fate of issue 14 upon ye ancient tome of Scarrow. I lost it. God, we are chugging along at this now, aren't we? Now, issue 14 could be a bit of a milestone in itself. If I'm wrong about this, then I'll probably just cut this section out. But if I'm not, for some reason I remember in my head that the number of issues for this whole collection is 140. If that's wrong, put the right number here. If it's right, put a little smiling goose here. But that means if this is issue 14, we're 10% of the way through the Hachette Partworks build. Come here, buddy. And bring your hoop with you. Holy Dalek. Thank you for watching issue 14 of this Dalek build. If you want to build it for yourself, head along to the Hachette Partworks website, which you can find a link to in the description below, and subscribe today to start your journey on building a half-size Dalek replica. Or you could save money and watch me do it instead. So subscribe to my channel and follow along on the journey to build this half-size Dalek replica week by week as I discover gradually that I don't have the space to keep a half-size Dalek replica, but I'm going to anyway. Thank you very much for watching. And make it brighter. Let me go. Oh! What am I doing with my life? Well, what do you know? It turns out 13 was quite unlucky for me, as after editing and uploading episode 13 of this series, my laptop just really kicked the bucket. So apologies for this episode being later than I intended it to be, but here we are still, and thank you very much for joining me. And to carry on this new tradition we seem to have developed, let's read some comments from the last video. WizCod says thank you for single-handedly carrying us through the Dalek drought. Also praise the binder. Quite right too, WizCod. It's never a Dalek drought if you know where to look. Those knobbly bronze bastards are somewhere at the end of this tunnel. I asked in the last episode what was the most annoying spoiler you've had for Doctor Who. Super Epic Nice Guy says John Barrowman returning in Fugitive of... Fuck me, that's so hard to say. Super Epic Nice Guy says John Barrowman returning in Fugitive of... That is such a difficult episode to say. Fugitive of the Jadun. Fugitive with the Jejun. Fugitive with the Jejun was accidentally revealed to me by a friend who messaged me when I was out as the episode aired and didn't know I wasn't watching live for once. Oh, that would do me in. I understand if your normal routine is to watch it live, but nah. There's got to be a grace period. You don't message anyone spoilers at least an hour, I'd say. Minero says, only a minute in and it's insane how clean of an editor you are. I had to go and pause it to show my partner. Jealous of that 60th Sonic effect for the old clips, so that's a really good way of organically integrating on-screen information. Thank you very much. That's genuinely one of the nicest comments I've ever had. I love editing, and in my free time I am just normally dicking around in After Effects, and I love trying to recreate effects I've seen and love. And figuring out what's a easy way I can do them. Normally I don't get a chance to use these little effects things I learn because most of the videos on this channel are just kind of reusing old Doctor Who footage. So another benefit of this series has been it's a good excuse to, try out some little effects things that I've always wanted to do. So here we are. Thank you. Batgirl76 says you might have this done next year. I think it's going to be a lot longer than that, mate. Carrot Spy says, honestly, I'd prefer it if every new Doctor is a complete secret until their debut episode. I understand that it's not really feasible to pull off, but it would be great if it was. I think I agree and disagree at the same time. I think as much as you can, the show should try and keep those big moments for when you watch it and you don't want to, spoil every little thing that happens. And yeah, for the most part, I think with the Doctor's regenerations, it would be interesting to go into it totally blind. But that said, I don't think I've ever really had the hype spoiled for me by, the show revealing who the actor is going to be to take over. I sort of see both sides of it. Cord says, considering it was everywhere at the time, I don't know how I managed to avoid it, but I was fortunate enough to avoid the John Sim spoilers in Series 10. And boy howdy did my head explode when that reveal happened. I absolutely did not see that coming, and I wish everybody else could have been that surprised. Me too. That would have absolutely floored me, I think. Space MacGuffin says, sad my comment didn't make it. What do I need to do for this accolade? Say that Blink is a terrible episode? Say that I wish we had pink Daleks? Please tell me, Survivors. Well, that's what you have to do, I guess. Empress of Ego says, that Season 10 spoiler was iconically bad, but probably the worst ever Doctor Who leak was when the first half of Season 8 was leaked online in black and white. I didn't know that. I'd never heard of that. Yes, 6 entire Doctor Who episodes were leaked. I've been really enjoying this new season so far. The past 3 episodes in particular have been incredible. But once again, the leak demon returned to spoil the well for me. You can't get rid of them. Yeah, I don't think I'd seen the leaks for the well, but I definitely heard the rumor, and generally those rumors don't come from nowhere, so I was like, it's probably gonna be Midnight. But again, that didn't necessarily spoil the episode for me, and that reveal of Midnight and the diamonds and the extonic star, that hyped me to no end. Righty-ho, you lovely lot. Thank you for joining me again for another episode of the Hachette Partworks Dalek Collection. And again, let's just go through the spiel for old time's sake. If you want to follow on the journey of building this half-size Dalek replica, hit subscribe. And if you want to build it for yourself, head along to the Hachette Partworks website, which you can find a link to in the description below. Next time, you're not going to believe this, we're going to be building more Dalek. And hopefully, I will see you there. Goodbye and farewell and sayonara.